Okay. So today we are going to discuss about what are the extensions in Tableau, usage of calculation fields. So there are many extensions in Tableau, and we are going to discuss about how to write calculation fields and how we can use or how we can implement that in the Tableau, and the representation of how to use calculations in the view and how to edit a existing calculation. So now let's talk about types of extension. Is it audible now? Hello. Is it loud and clear? Okay. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about TWB, TBM, TWBX formats. So for that, we need to have Tableau desktop open. So now let's see. So there will be certain extensions which we use. So the most important one is .twb and .twbx. Okay, so now let me save this workbook. So do a save as and save it somewhere. So there will be two options that you will see. You can save the workbook in TWB format and TWBX format. So now I will tell you what is the difference between TWB and TWBX. So the full form of TWB is Tableau Workbook. So this will have only the visualization. Only visualization. Let's say if I save this in TWB format and if I send this file to anyone, okay, without data. So this is basically without data. Okay, until unless they have the data file with them, so you won't be able to see the data or dashboard. Let's say I have this dashboard. So if I have created these many worksheets and all, if you see, I have created this tabular charts and I have also created some bar charts and some tabular charts I have prepared. Okay, assume if there is no data. So if there is no data, you won't see anything. So there will be visualization present in this particular workbook, but you will not see anything. So if I share it in TWB format, so it will have the visualization, but not the data. Okay, until unless they have access to that particular data file. And TWBX is called as Tableau Workbook Extract. And you can also call this as packaged workbook. This also can be called as packaged workbook. So in that package, you will have data plus visualization plus images, color palettes and all, everything will be stored. So it's a packaged workbook. So if you want to share your work to anyone, so save it in TWBX format and then send it to the person that you want to send. So then they will be able to see without any issue. So if you save in TWB format and send it to any person, so it will ask for data file. Okay, until unless they have data file with them, so they will not be able to see the data or see the visualization. So now let me save it as TWB first. So let's go to this PC. So I will save it here, TWB format, and I will also save it as TWBX format. So I will show you the difference between TWB and TWBX format. Even the logo will be different if you save it in TWB and if you save it in TWBX. Okay, so if you see this, in the type also you can see it is a packaged workbook. And the Tableau workbook which I saved as TWB, it is showing as Tableau workbook. Okay, and if you see the icon, this has only normal Tableau icon. Extract has a line that crosses this symbol. So basically, this will have entire thing. So data plus visualization plus other images if there are any other images in the dashboard. So it is the best file to send it to anyone so that they can access the entire dashboard. So if you send with this file, Tableau workbook, so they will not be able to access the data. So that is about TWB and TWBX. And we also have one more extension, which is TBM. So TBM is nothing but .tbm is nothing but Tableau bookmark. So I have this entire dashboard. I have so many worksheets in this dashboard, but I want to pick one particular sheet. I want to take it separately. One particular sheet, I want to make it as a separate dashboard. So what I will do, I will go to window and I will go to bookmark and create bookmark. So I'll create a bookmark. I'll update in the session 5. Bookmark and save this. Okay, so from this entire dashboard, so this dashboard has so many worksheets, so many dashboards. So I have separated only this particular worksheet into a separate dashboard. So if you go here, the icon is different and type says Tableau bookmark. And when I open this bookmark file, it will show me as Tableau bookmark. So it will open and you can see only one particular sheet, so that you can separate any particular sheet from the entire dashboard. Yeah. So now you can see only one particular worksheet. The data source will be same. So here we have connected to the sample superstore only. And if you go here, so it will also connect to the same sample superstore database. Okay, so that is about Tableau bookmark. So where you can bookmark contains a single worksheet or as a easy way to quickly share your work. So let's say you want to share only one particular piece of work that you want to share from the entire dashboard. So instead of sharing the entire dashboard, you can pick one particular sheet and share your work. So that is about TBM. And we have also discussed about TWB and TWBX. Yeah. That particular sheet is getting separated. Yeah. TWB may you will get only visualization, without data you will get. So if you send that file to anybody, it will give an error saying that data file is not existed. So if you connect it to the data file, then you can see the visualization. Yeah. Okay. Only one sheet you can bookmark. If you want to do this one, go to window and do a bookmark. Only one sheet can be done. Okay, so now we'll discuss about dot hyper and dot TDE. So dot hyper and dot TDE are both are same. So but dot TDE is the older version. Earlier to 10.5 we used to have dot TDE. So dot TDE is nothing but Tableau data extract. So that dot hyper is also Tableau data extract only. Okay, so after 10.5 what they have done is they have made some improvements in that dot TDE is the older one. Dot hyper is the newer version. So after 10.5 we started calling Tableau data extract as dot hyper. So which is 3 times faster than the older one. 5 times faster performance. Performance wise, it is 5 times faster. Okay, so they have made some changes in the Tableau data extract, and this is faster than .tde. So dot hyper is very fast. You need to have this 10.tableau 10.5 version, and current version, which is Tableau 2023. Okay, so in this you connect to, let's say, 1 million records. In this also you try to connect to 1 million records, and try doing extract in both the versions. So this will load the data in seconds, I mean in some minutes. So 1 million records, mostly hyper will take 5 minutes. This will take some 15 minutes or something like that. So in that way you can test, but I think I don't think you could get Tableau 10.5 right now. So this is way older. .td is way older. So it's been like 5 to 6 years back. Okay, so that is way older, and performance-wise, .hyper is very fast compared to .tde. And now I will show you how to create that extract. Okay, so this is the sample superstore that you see. Let me increase the resolution. Okay, so this is already been done as an extract. So if you see this dual cylinder, that means it's an extract. I think we have discussed this in the previous session. So if it is dual cylinder, so that means it's an extract connection. If it is single cylinder, that is a live connection. So right click on this, click on extract data. So here you will have two options which we have discussed yesterday, where you can do full refresh or incremental refresh. So now let's do a full refresh. So click on extract. So it will try to save a file. 1 second. Let's connect to old indicators. Extract data. Click on extract. So it will show you the file location. So let me just open a new Tableau dashboard. So let me just connect to sample superstore and right click on this, create an extract. Yeah. So here it will ask you to save this dot hyper file. So here you can see the dot hyper extension. So now you can save it. Let's save this as hyper superstore. So basically this will store the data. So this will not have any visualization in it. So let me just go to desktop. Yeah, so hyper superstore, it is a Tableau extract. So basically it will store the data. So if I open that, so let's say if I want to share data with anybody, so I will just do an extract, which will create a hyper file and I can see the data. Yeah, so this is how it, where we can see the data like this. So these are the files it has. So orders, people, this information it is there. Okay, so it same information you can get it here. So all the information which is there in the same dashboard here. So if you connect to any Oracle or SQL data source, you can create a hyperfile extension. And if you want to share the data, So without copying it to the Excel file, you can just create a hyper file and you can send it. So yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, so relationship model is available not only in the hyper, it is available here itself. Even in the dashboard, you can see relationship model. Correct, correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so let me just show you how it does. So let me remove and keep it. So basically, orders is the main table. Okay, it has all the information. And let me remove this. And people has only 2 columns in it. Okay, so we are trying to fetch regional manager information from this people table. So it has region is common in orders table and people table. Okay, based on region column, we are trying to fetch the orders information. I mean, this regional manager information. And if you go to returns table, in returns table, you should be able to see returned and order ID. Whether that particular order is returned or not, that information is there in this table. Order ID and order ID is common in returns table and orders table. So on the basis of order ID, we are joining that. So orders table I will take, so that as that is the main table. So this is called relationship model, and this can be also called as a logical layer in Tableau. So when I drag this, so these are called noodles. The link that you see between orders and people. So this is called a noodle, where you can put the logical condition on what basis you want to combine these two different tables. So on basis of region, it is automatically taking. Why? Because the name which is region, so the name it is matching in the both the tables. If the name is not matching, we need to manually select it to combine these two different data tables. Okay, if it is matching, Tableau will automatically understand that on basis of this column we need to join. And if you take returns table, on basis of return, on basis of order ID, it is joining. So basically, when I create a hyperfile, what happened is it is separately storing these 3 tables. So whatever 3 tables are there, orders and peoples and returns, it is storing that 3 tables separately. So whatever way I want to join, I can join. So when I open this, so it is having all those 3 details information. Depending on my requirement, I can join any type of relationship I can do. So let's say orders table is there and people table. I have to map it with region column, which is already mapping. And now I can take returns table, which is mapping with order ID column in orders table. So in orders table, we have order ID column as well. So if we go, yeah, here it is. On this basis, it is joining. So yeah, it does that relational database model. And this is called as a logical layer. Is it clear? Zahid? Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, so that way, we can create an extract file. So that is called as .hyper. So depending on the version, so this is my old version that I have written. So when this .td was there, so depending on the version that you have, you can have .td or .hyper. But in the current versions, you will not find .td. You will have only .hyper. And now let's see. There are more formats or more extensions .tds and .tdsx. dot tds and dot tdsx, Tableau data source extract, and this is only Tableau data source. So now let's create, right click on this, and so to get that format, you need to add to save data sources. Click on this and go to session 5. Okay, so here you will see .tds and .tdsx. So basically it will store connection details. In both the cases, it will store connection details. Connection details is common in both of them. I'll tell you. And if you see, if you remember in TWB, so if you remember .twb and .twbx, so in this we have data, in this we don't have data. So it is because wherever there is x, if the extension is ending with x, that means that will have data. So in case of .tds and .tdsx also, this is with data and this is without data. Okay, so now let me show you what is connection details. So I will save this file. Okay, so let's save this file as a .tds. I'll name it as TDS Superstore. And let's go to that file. Okay, I'm opening this TDS Superstore file. So basically this TDS Superstore will have the information of the file that I'm connecting to. So right click on this, edit data source. Okay, so this is the sample Superstore data that I'm connecting to. Okay, it will show you the location of the files that you are connecting to basically. So it is connecting to sample EU Superstore, sample Superstore. So this will show you the location of the files that you connect to. Or if you are connecting to any database, Oracle or SQL servers, it will show you that particular information. So I'll just show you what information it will show you. Let's say Oracle you are connecting to. So it will show you the server name details, service name, the port number, even it shows you the username, not the password. Password you need to remember. Password will not be stored. So in the connection details, it will have server name, service, port number, and the username that will be stored in .tds. So if you connect to Oracle, it will show you server name, port number, user, and service ID. All this it will store. Or if you are connecting to flat files, so flat files in the sense Excel or CSV you are connected to, it will show you the location of that file. Location of the file. Okay, so now so these files will be stored in your local machine. So this is going to the Superstore. 1 second. Yeah. So this is showing you the some Microsoft Excel file that it is connecting to. Yeah, it is showing you the path also. On the top you could see. So if you go to the dot hyper, so we have created dot hyper file also, right? So this will not show you. This will this is storing the data, but this doesn't store any connection details. This will show only that hyperfile location, not the Excel file location. Okay, so dot hyper is only the data. It will not store any connection details. It is only data. No connection details will be stored. No connection details will be stored. Okay, so and .tdsx is basically with data. As I have files in my location, it is showing you that file locations, not this one. So let me close this hyper one. Yeah, so if I edit this, it is having this data here. It is showing it. Otherwise, it won't show you any data here. Okay, let's say if I share this file to you, it will just show you this location itself. If you have the files, it's okay, it will connect. If you don't have the file, it will just give you this location information. For Oracle and SQL, it will just give you the information of which server it is and all, so that you can get it. If Oracle is there, you will get this information. If it is SQL Server, so you need to have these details. So it will provide you these details. Okay, so now let's see. So that is about .tds and .tdsx. Any questions on these extensions before we move forward? Yeah. Okay, so let's discuss about calculation fields. Well, we have completed the extensions. So these are only the extensions that we have. .twb, tbm, .twbx, and .tde or hyper, .tds and .tdsx. Okay, so now let's discuss about calculation fields in Tableau. So let me open Tableau. So let me just write some simple calculations. So let's take customer name. So these are the customer names that we have. So just right click on this. So you can do create or go to transform, do a split. So I want to see first name and last name separate. So here there is a option called split. So Tableau will automatically create the different columns, like based on the space it is separated. So it will understand that there is a separation category for each and every row. So it will separate it based on that. So now let's take one of the split. So it will have all the first names, and take the second split. It will have all the second names or the last names. Okay, so that's how we can have the separate names. And we can also do a combination. Let's say customer name I want to combine with category. So you can just put plus symbol, which will combine. So if you want to combine two different categories, two different names. So I'm just combining this customer name with the category. So you can see category as well. Concatenation, yes, correct, correct. So let's say I'll just create email ID with this so that you will understand. Okay, so now I have first name. So this is my first name, and I want to see at the rate, let's say org ID, at the rate org.com. Okay, so this is my one more calculation, org.com. Say okay. So I'm just trying to create an email ID with this. names and all. So I want to keep first name dot second name @org.com. So let me take this second split as well. Okay, so now I have first name, second name, and @org.com. So what I will do is I'll just combine these three. So I'll take first name plus, I want to keep dot in between. So I'll add dot plus, I want to take the second split plus org.com. Okay, so this will become my email ID. Say okay. Okay, so with this I have created an email ID. So instead of space, I have replaced it with adrianbeton@org.com. Or I can directly replace it with, so there is a function called replace. So take customer name, customer name. I want to replace space with dot. Okay, so customer name it will take. This space will be replaced with dot. Other.com in the sense for yeah, we can do that. But on what basis? What is the condition criteria? For some of the customers, you want to have org.com, and some of the users you want @gmail.com. Is that what your question, or is it different? Hello. Yeah. Instead, you want to keep gmail.com. Let's just replace it. I'm not. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Got it. It starts with customer name. Yeah, yeah. You need to write some conditions. Yeah. So you need to write certain criteria, and for that particular members, you need to mention use this @org.com. Yeah, correct. So that way you need to write for each and every, let's say for whoever starts with A, you can show it as @gmail.com. Whoever starts with B, you can put some other. So based on that, you can keep. So these are some of the calculations that you can write. And now let's see. So let's see sales and subcategory, or let's take profit. Profit and subcategory. Yeah, Rakib. Replace, it is replacing, no? Space is replaced with dot. Yeah. Everywhere, wherever there is space, it is replacing with dot. Yeah, let's put some this one. Now see, it is visible for you. I'm keeping one line. Okay, instead of space, I'm keeping this line separation. So that way you can replace anything. Even text also you can replace. Wherever there is a, if you want to replace it with, let's say, edit. So a should be replaced with, let's say, z. Say apply. Yeah, wherever there is a, it will be replaced with z. Here a is repeated thrice at the end button. That is replaced with z. Yeah, so that is about replace function. So now let me write a calculation for this. So where I want to color positive ones in one color, negative ones in a different color. So I will write a calculation if sum of profit greater than 0, then good, else bad. So this is a color condition. Say okay. Use this color condition in color mark star. Okay, so good you can see in a different color and bad you can see in a different color. So this is how you can represent. So this is one type of creating the calculations. So basically we create calculations to segment the data, to convert the data type of a field, and to aggregate or non-aggregate, to filter some of the results, and to calculate some of the ratios. So now let's see how we can calculate ratios. So let's take sales and profit and take region and convert this as a tabular chart. Okay, here I'm showing profit and sales, and I want to calculate profit margin. Okay, so sum of profit divided by sum of sales. So this is the definition for profit margin. So if you want to know the profit margin, this is the calculation that you need to write. So now I'll use that profit margin to calculation. Okay, so now here I am able to see the profit margin. I'll just convert this into percentage. Convert into percentage. Yeah. So basically it is 52% minus 52%, 15.3. So here like this also you can use calculation to calculate some divisions, or if you want to do additions or everything, so you can use calculations. And we have done segmentation by creating the not only, let's say, state. So in India we have different states where we can see south states differently and north states differently, like Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, all these are like north states, and in south you can see Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, all this comes under south side. In that way, if you want to segregate, so you can in that way also you can write conditions. So if state equal to Alabama, then let's write it as south. I'm just giving some random names. So if you want to create some higher categories, and you can write else if state Arizona, then south. Else you can just mention others. So like that you can write for each and every state. Say this is called as grouping. So use this grouping column. Okay, so it is creating for south, it is creating one column. Yeah, Alabama and Arizona in south region, and others will be coming under others column. So this way you can create the grouping as well using calculation. So why do we use calculation? So data you need for your analysis is missing from your data sources. So sometimes, let's say I have created a calculation for profit margin. So that I have created because I don't have that particular information coming from the data source. So for that, I need to create this calculation and Tableau itself. Let's say if I use some other dimension, let's say category. So we can't get this value from the data source. Why? Because the numerator and denominator, if the numerator and denominator is changing, the value keep on changing. So this is not a static value. So this value will be depending on the value of the numerator and the denominator. So this is calculating on the basis of on the fly. So these are called as on the fly calculations. And so you want to transform values in your visualization. You might want to calculate difference in profit from one year to the other. So if you want to compare two different years, then also we can use. And we have written this calculation just now, where we have compared this year, I mean, positive value with the negative value. So when you have positive profit, so that we have shown it as a green color, and when you have negative profit, we are showing it as a negative value, which is in red color. Okay, so now let's move on to, and in calculations, there are three different types of calculations. The ones which we have written just now, those are simple calculations. So these are normally called as calculations. So here you will select create calculated field. In that way only I have written this color condition, and you can right click on this and you can edit the calculation also. So you can see what is inside the calculation. And here we have written so many calculation fields. This is a replace calculation field. Just click on this and edit it, and you can see the formula that you have written here. So like that, we have written many calculations. So these are all simple calculations or basic calculation. And in upcoming sessions, we are going to discuss about LOD expressions. So these are very important, where it will change the way of seeing the data. So for this, we have three sessions. So separate 3 sessions are there for this expressions only, LOD expressions. And for table calculation, we have 1 session. So these are 3 different types of calculations that we use. And now let me show you the other way of calculating the division. So let's create. So we have created this sum of profit divided by sum of sales. So now I'll write, so IIF. So this is, so IIF sum of sales not equal to 0. Then sum of sales, sum of profit divided by sum of sales. Okay, so here what I'm writing is, if the denominator is 0, If the denominator is not 0, then perform this action. Otherwise, say it as 0. So that is the calculation I'm writing here. So this I can write it in two ways. So if sum of sales, it is similar to the if calculation only, but I'm just writing in if calculation also so that you can understand. If sum of sales not equal to 0, then sum of say profit divided by sum of sales. Else 0 end. So this is the same calculation. So IIF is the modified version of if else calculation. Okay, so when this condition is satisfied, I'm telling Tableau to perform this action. Otherwise, this one. It is a simple one. And here you can, in the text, you can directly see if sum of sales not equal to 0, then this perform this one. Otherwise, perform this. Here you can see in words clearly. But this is a modified if else calculation. So if this is satisfied, it will perform this one. Otherwise, it will give you this one. So this is basically the division. So region I'll take and sales, profit. So click on this calculation. So basically this will calculate the percentage. Right click on this, click on format, click on percentage. So here you can see the percentage. So this is how you can see the percentages. So now let's talk about the other slides. Okay, so let's create for this region category and subcategory. And let's see the discount ratio. So let's calculate discount ratio. Yeah, so discount ratio is nothing but sales not equal to 0, discount divided by sales. So let's write discount ratio. If sum of sales not equal to 0, then sum of discount divided by sum of sales end. Okay, so name this as discount ratio. Discount ratio. And let's create this same calculation. So region, category, subcategory. Region, category, subcategory. And discount ratio, I'll keep it in the color. Okay, so with the intensity of the color, I can identify discount is more in fasteners and in central region. And in south binders also, the discount ratio is more. By seeing the intensity of the color, I can identify discount ratio. And in upcoming sessions, we are going to discuss about each and every string function. So there are many functions. So these many functions are available. So we'll discuss the most important functions that are that we use in the real time. So now let's see few of the functions. So let's create calculate field. So let's discuss about ABS. So profit, take profit and take subcategory and show the values like this and sort it. So basically this has positive values and this also has negative values. Okay, absolute is something, it will not consider the negative values. So it will show you the value. Whatever is the value, it will just show you. So this is ABS. Say okay, ABS. Oh, sorry, I need to take profit. So that's why number is not matching. So let's take profit. So just do sum of profit. So whenever you do, use aggregation function. Otherwise, it will take individual values into consideration. So it's better you take the aggregation function. So say okay and put this ABS again. Okay, so here just the sign is getting removed. So it will not consider the sign. Even if it is positive or negative, it will not consider. It will just give you the number. And now let's discuss about, so we have used AND in our calculations. So AND we'll discuss when we have something related to AND. So now let's discuss some other calculation. Contains. So let's take contains. Contains. So let's take subcategory only. If it contains P, if contains P equal to true, then I'll write it contains P. Otherwise, it will show null. So let's use this calculation tool here. Okay, so wherever there is subcategory which contains P, so copiers, appliances, phones, paper, in all these subcategory names, it contains P. So if you see chairs, accessories, furnishing, storage, in these subcategories, you don't see P in the letters of the subcategory. So that is about subcategory. And now let's see other functions. So date we will discuss at the when we discuss about dates and all. Yeah. So let's start with ends with. Let's say subcategory, take subcategory and say yes. So whichever ends with this one. So I will write a condition saying if it ends with this equal to true, then I will write it as It ends with S. So you can use this calculation 3. Yeah. So all these names are ending with S. So even the copiers, appliances, phones, envelopes, everything is ending with S. Only this storage and art is not ending with S. Yeah. So in tomorrow's session, we will discuss about some of the other functions. So we will discuss about number functions and string functions one by one. So we'll check each and everything. So with that, we have completed today's session. So any questions on today's session? Zaid, Rakib, Tabassum. Yeah, thank you, Zaid Khan. Yeah, Rakib. Yeah, yeah, correct. Okay, Rakib. I will continue tomorrow. Thank you.